Welcome to my channel, dear student. Today I am going to cover the Blue Book of Grammar and Punctuation. This book is easy to use, guide with clear rules, real world examples, and reproducible quizzes. The author of this book is Jane Strauss. So here what are the contents in this book? First one is the grammar. In grammar, finding noun, verbs, and subject, verb, agreement, what are the rules? Then pronouns, who versus whom, whoever versus whomever, who, that, which, adjectives and adverbs, preposition, effective writing, and then second is the punctuation. In punctuation, period, when we put the period with complete sentences with abbreviation at the end of sentences, replacing periods with question marks and exclamation point, commas, when we put the comma in the sentence to separate three or more items, to separate adjectives with two independent clauses, with introductory words, to set off interactive expression with names, date, city and state, with degree and titles, starting a sentence with a dependent clause versus an independent clause, with non-essential words, clauses and phrases, with sufficiently identified noun, with quotation. I will cover in the detail. Next is semicolon, colon, quotation marks, parentheses and brackets, apostrophe, hyphen, dashes, ellipses, question marks, exclamation point. Next is the capitalization. When we will put the capitalization in the sentences, first word of a document and after a period, proper noun and adjective derived from proper noun, title, title versus occupation, titles in direct address, geographic region versus point of compass, city, town, country, etc. before a proper noun. So all these things we will cover in detail. Then writing numbers, using figure versus spelling out number, numbers beginning a sentence, figure out figures of four or more digit, time of day, mixed fraction, large number, confusing words and homonyms, quizzes. All these the content I will cover in detail in upcoming pages. Okay, so here is the author's acknowledgement. So this author Jane Strauss created her English language instructional material because she found no books that conveyed the rule of English in well plain English. Over the year of teaching basic English language skills to state and federal government employees as well as to individuals in the private sector and in non-profit organizations, she refined her material, eventually creating the Blue Book of Grammar and Punctuation and its related website grammarbook.com. In the introduction to the 10th edition, the author spoke of her 2003 brain tumor diagnosis, how it led to her next bold step in life, and her successful surgery to remove the tumor. Unfortunately, in 2009, she again learned she had a new unrelated tumor, this time malignant. Jane Ruth Strauss passed away on February 25, 2011. Due to the outpouring of appreciation for her work, her husband Lester Caffone continued to oversee the GrammarBook.com website so that anyone around the world could still benefit from her life's work. He also collected ideas and suggestions for changes. new material and improvement to the Blue Book. After making the acquaintance of Tom Stern, a Marin County, California writer and editor, Kaufman recognized that Stern possessed the knowledge, skills, experiences, and passion needed to thoroughly re-examine the Blue Book and revise it to make it a first-rate grammar resource for everyone. First and foremost, thanks must go to the late Jane Strauss for her vision and persistence in creating a reference guide and workbook that is popular and easy to understand. We could not have succeeded in updating this book without the assistance of Marjorie McKinney at Josie Bass and literary agent Kathy Fowler, both of whom steadfastly believed in the book's value. We also thank Joy Coffin, Jojo Oritz, and Patty Clements for their contribution to the quizzes. The thousands of the loyal readers and viewers of the grammarbook.com website who by offering valuable input daily have helped save the rule, example and quizzes, and Gary Clare for helping name the book many years ago. This book is dedicated to my brilliant wife, Jane Strauss. She was a multi-talented woman with boundless energy and a natural gift for clarifying all matters complex. She put her heart and soul into everything she undertook. She was taken from us far too soon. Lester Coffin. This is the about the author, the Jane Strauss was an educator, life coach, and best-selling author to prepare for a job teaching English to employees of the state of California in 1975. Strauss scored the library for material that conveys the rule of English in plain English. Finding no such resource, she wrote the rule her own way, made up exercises, ran off some copies, and hoped for the best. The class was a hit. More and more state employees demanded that they get an equal opportunity to benefit from Strauss' nonsense instruction in English grammar and usage. She continued to refine her material, eventually turning them into the Blue Book of Grammar and Punctuation. When the internet was born, she launched the website grammarbook.com, which has helped millions of people all over the world improve their English grammar. Strauss became a sought-after speaker in the field of grammar, public speaking, and life coaching. Her other book is Enough, Stop Enduring and Start Living Your Extraordinary Life. Lester Coffin is the publisher of GrammarBook.com, a lifelong public servant. He served first in the Peace Corps and eventually completed the final year of his federal career with the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency. He married Jane Strauss in 1987. After his retirement from EPA, Coffin began assisting with the operation of Strauss' pledging website and helped edit previous editions of the Blue Book of Grammar and Punctuation. Following Jane Strauss' untimely passing in early 2011, Coffin assumed management of GrammarBook.com, which features an informative and entertaining weekly newsletter that encourages readers to ask grammar questions and offer their views on the state of 21st century English. Tom Stern is a freelance writer and editor. After leaving a career in the music business in 1992, he became a copy editor, reporter, critic, eventually working for a number of San Francisco Bay Area periodicals. In 2011, his twice monthly grammar column for a Marin County newspaper chain placed first in the California Newspaper Publisher Association Better Newspaper Contest. Now the introduction of the Blue Book of Grammar. Now in its 11th edition, the Blue Book of Grammar and Punctuation will help you write and speak with confidence. You don't have to be an English major to understand grammar and punctuation. You just need rules and guidelines that are easy to understand with real world example. Whether you are an instructor teaching a student the rule of English or a student executive, professional writer, or avid blogger honing your grammar and punctuation skill. This book will help you zip through tests, report, essays, letter, emails, and resumes. It will help you impress your teacher, your clients, and other readers. Every generation of English scholar despair because the language always seems to be at a crisis point. But it is undeniable that everywhere one looks nowadays, the principles in this book are casually and cavalierly violated. The Blue Book will prove to be a valuable tool for teachers and students in achieving the goals of the Common Core State Standard Initiative. Studying the chapter and working through the quizzes will provide students of all ages with the skills and knowledge they need to succeed beyond high school, in college, and in the workplace. Students will learn how to use formal English in their writing and speaking and how to better express themselves through language. We also recommend reading the work of a great writer to experience firsthand the art and beauty of effective communication. This book is logical, self-paced, and fun to use, with scores of interesting and challenging quizzes that you may photocopy to your heart's content. Best of all, you can look forward to instant gratification because the answer to the quizzes are included. Throughout the test, certain terms have been set in bold-faced type. For instance, at the beginning of chapter 1, noun, common noun, proper noun, due to space and other consideration, we could not always explore the linguistic term as thoroughly as we might have wished. Readers are strongly urged to look further into these terms on their own. We also recommend that those who are serious about improving their English grammar always keep a dictionary close by and use it assiduously. If you don't have time to research several leading reference books to figure out where the next comma should go or whether to write who or whom, you will find the Blue Book to be a pleasure to use. Dedicated to eliminating unnecessary jargon, it highlights the most important grammar, punctuation, and capitalization rule and guidelines and clarifies some of the language's most confusing and confounding words. In chapter 1, Grammar, you will learn how to find nouns, verbs, and subject and make sure they agree with one another. Next, you will learn about clauses and phrases, the key to understand sentence structure, then on to pronoun usage so that you will know whether to write I or me, he or him, who or whom, etc. From there, in the adjective and adverb section, you will discover why some words have lie added to them and why you must say she did well on the test rather than she did good on the test. After that, you will breeze through preposition, learning some surprising rules, and we will debunk at least one myth. Is it safe to ask what are you talking about or must we ask about what are you talking? The effective writing section of chapter 1 will give you helpful tips for constructing sentence and paragraph that flow gracefully, making it easier to write quickly and well. Chapter 2 Punctuation takes on all the usual suspects period, comma, semicolon, colon, quotation mark, parenthesis, and brackets, apostrophe, hyphen, dashes, ellipses, question mark, and exclamation point. The best part about this and other chapter is that you will find an abundance of examples that you can run across every day. Then comes chapter 3 capitalization, in which you will get your most vexing question answered, learning which word to capitalize in a title and when to capitalize job titles such as president or director. In chapter 4 writing numbers, you will learn the importance of consistency when using numbers or writing out numbers. You will also learn how to write fraction and large numbers. After that, you will enjoy spending time reading all about affect versus effect, lay versus lie, there versus there, they are and its versus its in chapter 5. Confusing words and homonyms. We have provided hundreds of words and phrases for you in this chapter, so you will never again have to be confused by the difference between farther and further. continual versus continuous, plant and float, tartarus and tortoise, and all the rest of the trickiest and most commonly misused words and phrases in the English language. Promise not to skip the quizzes, pretest or mastery test in chapter 6. The more you practice, the more confident you will become. Once you get over any fear about test taking, we will think you will find the quizzes both enjoyable and challenging. You will find the answers in chapter 7. Please visit www.grammarbook.com where you will find all the quizzes in this the book in a multiple choice interactive format. If you are a teacher or really jacked about improving your English skill, on the website you will also find hundreds of additional downloadable interactive quizzes in the subscription area, dozen of free 1 minute video by Jan Strass on English language usage, all the rules and example you see in the book, a sign up box on the home page for our free weekly e-newsletter with tips and articles, our blog recommendation for further reading and study. The point of grammar proficiency is to be clear and direct and to avoid misunderstanding. We hope you will come away from this book with this mantra. Think before you write. Be sure every sentence convey what you mean with no possibility of ambiguity or inherent meaninglessness. That being said, as George Orwell wrote in 1946, break any of these rules sooner than say anything outright barbarous. We hope you will find the Blue Book to be both enjoyable and invaluable. And now, the chapter 1 grammar started. Finding nouns, verbs, and subject. Note: we will use the standard of underlined subject once and verbs twice. What is the definition of noun? A noun is a word or set of words for a person, place, thing, or idea. A noun of more than one word is called a compound noun. Example: tennis court, gas station. There are common noun and proper noun. Common noun are words for a general class of people, place, things, and ideas. Example: man, city, award, honesty. They are not capitalized. Proper nouns are always capitalized. They name specific people, place, and things. Joy, Chicago Academy Award. For more on nouns, see chapter 2 apostrophe rule 2a through 2c. Next is the verb. What is the verb? A verb is a word or set of words that shows action. Action means runs, going, painting, feeling, loves, state of being, am, are, is, have been, was, seem. Examples of the verb: he ran around the block. Here ran is the verb. I like my friend. Here is the like. They seem friendly. Here is the seem. State of being verbs are called linking verbs. They include all forms of the verb to be plus such word as look, feel, appear, act, go followed by an adjective. Example: you look happy, we feel fine, he bent ballistic. Next, verbs often consist of more than one word. For instance, had been breaking down is a four-word verb. It has a two-word main verb, breaking down also called a phrasal verb, and two helping verbs, had and been. Helping verbs are so named because they help clarify the intended meaning. Many verbs can function as helping verb including is, shall, must, do, has, can, keep, get, start, help, etc. A subject. Next is the definition of the subject. A subject is the noun pronoun or set of words that perform the verb. The woman hurried. Woman is the subject. She was late. She is the subject. Shakespeare in Love won an Academy Award. Shakespeare in Love is the subject. What is the rule for the subject? To find the subject and verb, always find the verb first, then ask who or what performed the verb. The jet engine passed inspection. Passed is the verb. Who or what passed? The engine. So engine is the subject. From the ceiling hung the chandelier. Here verb is the hung. Now if you think ceiling is the subject, slow down, ask who or what hung. The answer is the chandelier, not the ceiling. Therefore, chandelier is the subject. From the ceiling hung the chandelier. If you should think next rule 2. Sentences can have more than one subject and more than one verb. I like cake and he likes ice cream. He and I like cakes. She lifts weight and jogs daily. Next rule 3. If a verb follow to, it is called an infinitive and it is not the main verb. You will find the main verb either before or after the infinitive. He is trying to live. To live is an infinitive. The main verb is trying. If a verb follows to, it is called an infinitive. To live was is his wish. The main verb is the was. To live is the infinitive. Note: one of the most stubborn superstitions in English is that it is wrong to insert a word between the to and the verb in an infinitive. This is called a spletive infinitive. There is no English scholar alive who will say a split infinitive is technically wrong. However, split infinitive tend to be clumsy and unnecessary. Experienced writers do not use them without good reason. Rule 4. Any request or command such as stop or walk quickly has the understood subject you. Because if we ask who is to stop or walk quickly, the answer must be you. Please bring me some coffee. Bring is the verb. Who will do the bringing? The subject you is the understood. Any request or command such as stop or walk quickly has the understood subject you. Because if we ask who is to stop or walk quickly, the answer must be you. Next, subject to verb agreement. Being able to find the right subject and verb will help you correct errors of subject verb agreement. Basic rule: a singular verb taking a singular subject takes a singular verb, whereas a plural subject takes a plural verb. Example: the list of items is on the desk. If you know the list is the subject, then you will choose is for the verb. Next sentence, that was the basic rule. This one is the rule 1. A subject will come before a phrase beginning with of. This is a key rule for understanding subject. The word of is the culprit in many, perhaps most subject were mistake. Hasty writer, speaker, reader, and listener might miss the all too common mistake in the following sentences. A bouquet of yellow roses lend color and fragrance to the room. A bouquet of yellow roses lends. Bouquet lends, not roses lends. So here is the of. The word of is the culprit. A subject will come before a phrase beginning with of. So this is the rule for of. Rule number two. Two singular subjects connected by either are or neither nor require a singular verb. Example, my aunt or my uncle is arriving by train today. Neither John nor Kaman is available. Either Kena or Kesni is helping today with stage decoration. Rule 3. The verb in an or either are or neither nor sentences agree with the noun or pronoun closest to it. Neither the plates nor the serving bowls goes on that shelf. Neither the serving bowl nor the plates go on that shelf. The verb in an or either or sentence agree with the noun or pronoun closest to it. Next, this route can lead to bumps in the road. For example, if I is one of the two subjects, it could lead to this odd sentence. Awkward, neither see my friend nor I am going to festival. If possible, it's best to reword such grammatically correct but awkward sentences. Rule number 4. As a general rule, use a plural verb with two or more subjects when they are connected by and. A car and a bike are my means of transportation. But note these exceptions. Breaking and entering is against the law. The bed and breakfast was charming. In those sentences, breaking and entering and bed and breakfast are compound nouns. Next, rule number 5. Sometimes the subject is separated from the verb by such words as along with, as well as, besides, not, etc. These words and phrases are not part of the subject. Ignore them and use a singular verb when the subject is singular. The politician, along with newsman, is expected shortly. Excitement as well as nervousness is the cause of her shaking. Rule 6. With words that indicate portion, percent, fraction, majority, some, all, etc. Rule 1 given earlier is reversed. And we are guided by the noun after of. If the noun after of is singular, use a singular verb. If it is plural, use a plural verb. The 50% of the pie has disappeared. 50% of the pie have disappeared. A third of the city is unemployed. A third of the people are unemployed. So here we are guided by the noun after of. Next, rule number 7. In sentence beginning with here or there, the true subject follows the verb. There are four hurdles to jump. There is a high hurdle to jump. Here are the keys. Next, rule number 8. Use a singular verb with distance, period of time, sum of money, etc. when considered as a unit. 3 miles is too far to walk. 5 years is the maximum sentence for that offense. $10 is a high price to pay. $10 beer scattered on the dollar. Rule 9. Some collective nouns such as family, couple, staff, audience, etc. may take either a singular or plural verb depending on their use in the sentence. The staff is in a meeting. Staff is acting as a unit. The couple disagree about disciplining their child. The couple refers to two people who are acting as individuals. Rule number 10. The word bear replaces was in sentence that express a wish or contrary to fact. If joy were here, you would be sorry. Next is the clauses and phrases. What is the definition of clauses and phrases? A clause is a group of words containing a subject and verb. An independent clause is a simple sentence. It can stand on its own. She is hungry. I am feeling well today. A dependent clause cannot stand on its own. It needs an independent clause to complete a sentence. Dependent clause often begin with such words as although, since, if, when, and because. A phrase is a group of words without a subject but component used as a single part of speech. Next is the pronoun. What is the definition of pronoun? A pronoun is a word that takes the place of a noun. In the sentence, Joy saw Jill and he waves at her. The pronoun he and her take the place of Joy and Jill, respectively. There are three types of pronoun: subject, object, and possessive. Rule 1. Subject pronouns are used when the pronoun is the subject of the sentence. You can remember subject pronoun easily by filling in the blank subject space for a simple sentence. I, he, she, we, they, who, whoever, etc. all qualify and are therefore subject pronoun. Rule number 2. Subject pronouns are also used if they rename the subject. They will follow to be verbs such as is, are, was, were, am, will be, had been, etc. Rule number 3. This rule surprises even language watcher when who refers to a personal pronoun. It takes the verb that agree with the pronoun. It is I who am sorry. It is I who is sorry is the incorrect sentence. It is you who are mistaken. It is you who's mistaken. This one is incorrect. Rule 4. Object pronouns are used everywhere else beyond rule 1 and 2. Object pronoun include me, him, herself, us, them, themselves. Jean saw him. Him is the direct object. Give her the book. Here, this is the indirect object. Are you talking to me? Me is the object of the preposition to. Rule number 5. The pronoun who, that, and which become singular or plural depending on the subject. If the subject is singular, use a singular verb. If it is plural, use a plural verb. He is the only one of those men who is always on the time. So these are the things of the subject verb agreement, different types of rule. Next, I will cover who versus whom, whoever versus whomever, who, that, which, adjective and adverb. An adjective is a word or set of that modify a noun or pronoun. Adjective may come before the word they modify. Adjective may also follow the word they modify. An adverb is a word or set of words that modify verbs, adjectives, or other adverbs. So here I am going to stop. I will cover more detail in the next video about the punctuation and capitalization.